Hey everyone, good morning, happy Friday. I hope your week has been great. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this was a long week. Um, it really was just like every day. It was like, is it really only Tuesday? Is it really only Wednesday? Like it was a long week. And we talked about that. Me and my coworkers, we talked about that yesterday at lunch. That it's just been a long week, and it's not been anything like horrible, but it's just been a week. And I mean, it is what it is. I'm thankful it's Friday. Hoping to get a little rest this weekend because I really am just exhausted. Um, as much as I can anyway. Got a couple livestock shows, got some basketball games. But it's gonna be all right. Gonna survive, gonna live. Obviously, it's just kind of one of those weeks. Today's title is "Pick a Side." It says, "Whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters." It's Matthew 12, verse 30. It says, "Ever get in the middle of two friends who are fighting? It's not very fun. Seems easier to stay out of it, to avoid picking sides so that you don't make anyone mad." So, the best thing I can do, or the best way I can relate to this is, like my senior year in high school, we had a issue, I guess, if you will. Growing up is always like this group of girls, growing up, and I mean, we were there for each other. We were always the group. And there was probably, originally there was probably four of us. And then, as we continued to grow up and more people would come and join our school or join our grade, as we started to get to more know people playing sports, livestock, all that stuff, it started to grow. That friend group obviously started to grow, and thankfully we were. I might be a little biased here because I was in the group, but thankfully we were a great group, and so we were really inviting in that for people that wanted to come and hang out with us. But there was a time during I really want to say it was my senior year, that there was some issues going on with a couple of the people in our group. And it was, just kind of over a little petty stuff that we don't even care about now. But we would get, not necessarily in arguments, but we would get so annoyed at each other sometimes just over just the different stuff. And we would find ourselves, and I say this like I'm speaking for them too, because I think they would probably agree with me, we'd find ourselves picking a side, and one day it might be on one person's, and the next day it might be on another's. But there was, really for the most part, we did pretty well, but there was that time where we kind of picked sides, and it kind of had a little standoff, if you will, because there was so much just drama, and it was, what do you do about it? Obviously, it kind of, eventually, it was like, all right, this is dumb, and it kind of dispersed, but that's really the only time I can think of, for myself. Now, teaching, I see this in a lot of different ways. I see kids, normally girls, pick a side, and they will go to the grave for that person. We've had a little bit of that this week, where people have had to be called out and discussed with to try and get to the bottom of some situations. And let me tell you, they will go to the grave for that person, but here's the deal. The next day, they'll go to the grave for somebody else, and they'll flip on you like a switch. So you gotta watch that. So it's smart to avoid picking sides when it comes to friends, but it doesn't work as well when it comes to the fight between good and evil. In Matthew 12, Jesus had just finished arguing with the Pharisees about doing good things. The Pharisees were pointing fingers and saying that the only way Jesus could fight evil was if he was evil himself. Well, that is just silly. Evil doesn't beat up evil. Neither does good fight good. Jesus gets straight to the point and tells them so. Then he says that unless people take a stand for good, they are siding with evil. There's no way to stay out of the fight when it comes to good versus evil. Either we love Jesus and take a stand for good, or we are working against him. There is no middle ground. We have to pick a side. And I think, when I've said it on here before, I think we are either pointing people to Christ or deterring them from him completely. There is no in between. We're either following Jesus or we're not. We're either trying to grow his kingdom or we're not. There's no in between. There's not I want to follow Jesus today, but tomorrow I want to do my own thing. It doesn't work that way. You're either following Jesus every day or you're not. And so with that, I'm going to go straight into the gospel and say, you either have accepted Jesus Christ as your Savior or you have not. There is no middle. Because whenever we get to heaven and we stand before God, he's not going to say, oh, well, you were kind of right there in the middle. No, he's going to say, yes, your name is here, or no, your name is not. There is no in between. The choice is yours. You have to make the choice. And my goodness, I pray to God that you guys make the correct one. I pray to God that you guys choose Jesus every single day, because there's nothing better. Even on my worst days, even on my worst weeks. I don't even want to think about what this week could have been like or would have been like if I didn't have Jesus. Because even on my worst weeks, I know that Jesus is still good. I know that Jesus is still on the throne. And I know that Jesus still has a plan. That gives me hope. Prayer says, Lord, help me to stand with you. I don't want to end up on the wrong side just because I'm afraid to get involved. You're either standing for Jesus or you're not. So think about that in your actions, in the words that you say, in the way that you talk about people. You're either standing for Jesus and being a positive example for him, or you're not. That's all it boils down to. So what do you choose? Do you choose Jesus or do you choose the world? Never said it's going to be easy. Because, believe me, some days it feels like it is more of a chore than it is a blessing. And I'm just being straight honest. But whenever I really sit back and think about it, I know that choosing Jesus is going to be the best decision that I could ever make. So that's what I ask you guys today. Are you choosing Jesus or are you choosing the world? Everyone go out, have a great Friday, have a great weekend. Hopefully it is a restful weekend for you all. And just an enjoyable weekend full of blessings. As always, go out and be the example.